Today we've got three very interesting topics. The first is trypophobia, or the fear of holes. Then we'll discuss the best ways to pop pimples. Last we'll look at what appears to be either a hand cyst, wart, or a botfly. So let's kick it off right about now. Trypophobia is the fear of holes, clusters of holes, or hole-like shapes. Of course, there's no real definition because it's not an official disorder. This is a lotus seed pod. Looks pretty innocuous, right? But Photoshop it on human skin, and all of a sudden, you break the internet. These lotus seed pod images have been all over the internet for a while now. But when I put them on a YouTube video, I got so many dislikes and complaints, YouTube forced me to take it down because people were shocked by it. Folks, remember, it's just a lotus seed pod. So what causes this fear? Now, some people say that poisonous animals like snakes, frogs, and spiders have some irregular shapes on them, so our brain is trained to fear these shapes. Although snazzy dressers, our ancestors weren't always smart enough to stay away from things like poison dart frogs and poisonous snakes. So the ones that stayed away from those lived longer and passed on their genes to us. Meaning all of our surviving ancestors, for the most part, didn't like things with creepy holes. Until recently, psychological professionals considered it kind of a social media phenomenon, a joke if you will. But now they're starting to say, hey, there's something to that. Maybe our brains really don't like holes. Maybe there's a reason for it. And maybe people actually suffer from a disorder because they're really afraid of these sorts of things. So I just did a Google search for poisonous fish. You know what most of them had? Like this puffer fish? Irregular holes. So is there merit? Do our brains really make us avoid irregular holes and creepy shapes? Or is this a made-up condition thanks to the internet? Next, let's take a look at how to pop pimples. Alright, there are literally hundreds of ways to pop pimples. I'm going to show you my favorite, but first, viewer discretion is advised. Now, some people use a method called cupping, where you use heat, which creates a vacuum, and essentially sucks a pimple out of your back. This is new to a lot of folks, but it's certainly one of my favorite popping techniques. Mind you, this sample comes to us from Duribari25. Go subscribe to their channel for more. Of course, some people get a pimple or ingrown hair like this, and they use a comedone extractor. This is one of my favorite techniques. Let us know what your favorite technique is with a comment below. I would love to hear your comments if you would rather use a comedone extractor or a cupping technique. Pretty interesting, right? This next technique is a pimple straw, which you press on a blackhead, and it causes the blackhead to extract from the pressure. Pretty interesting, and it's seen a lot in Japan. Alright, leave a comment below with your favorite technique, and if we missed an important popping technique or style or method, leave that in a comment below. I hope you liked the video. Please click like. Lastly, let's take a look at whether this is a cyst, a botfly, or a wart. Thanks again for watching YouTube's Greatest Cysts. We'll provide new medical content for you every single week. Goodbye.